What's going on, guys? Chinese guy here. Well, today I am back to do a breakdown on the new Battlefield Final Stand DLC trailer. The DLC itself is available to be played on the CTE on the PC, so if you have a Battlefield Premium membership and you do play on the PC, go download the CTE and start playing the DLC for yourselves. Every day they will release a new map. Today's map is Operation Whiteout, and tomorrow they will have a different map for us to play with. The CTE currently is technically in beta, so there will be bugs and sound glitches, but I'm sure they will fix these problems by the time they officially launch the DLC. So make sure you stay tuned to my channel for the full coverage for Final Stand. I will show gameplay from the CTE of the new maps, weapons, and vehicles. Enough of me talking, let's watch the trailer so I can break it down in detail. Very futuristic, right? Doesn't it remind you of the days in Battlefield 2142? Well, according to the description of this DLC, the fight moves into the Grand Russian wintry landscape as the war closes in on its epic conclusion. Beyond the frozen bays and beneath the snow lies secret military installations filled with high-tech prototype weapons, gadgets, and vehicles, radically changing the face of the battle. The DLC will contain tons of things which hints the 2142 war. It shows the building up to the war, and we fight in the hidden bunkers and secret factories where the weapons were produced. Anyways, throughout the video I will only pick shots which I really think are important and stands out, because I want to make more videos of the actual DLC itself. But anyways, getting started, in our first shot we can get a pretty good glance of the map we are currently playing on the CTE, Operation Whiteout. I believe it is some sort of Russian radar station. Maybe it's for communication, or maybe it's for spying on the US. I don't know, but there isn't anything too special about these shots. It is pretty cool to get a glance of the map themselves. Then in this next shot we get a much longer look at the SC-42. This is the Metal Storm weapon system. It is basically a tow missile in a way, but it fires a canister shell that has a very high bullet velocity. There is a total of 4 rounds in a magazine, and I do believe there are 8 more rounds in your ammo capacity. Hopping into the next shot, we can get a look at the new hover tank. You can think of this thing as the normal main battle tank, but except in my opinion, I think it is much harder to actually aim. This tank has very high mobility. You can quickly turn around and shoot at a target just in less than a second, when if you're using, let's say, an M1, it will probably take you a while to slowly spin around. It is pretty cool to see something like this in Battlefield 4. We did have hover tanks in 2142, so it's nice that we see kind of a remake of 2142's weapons and vehicles in Battlefield 4, but in a much smaller manner. Then now skipping ahead, we can get a shot of the new map Hammerhead. The map kind of reminds me of Alborz Mountain's base from Battlefield 3 Armor Kill. There looks to be some sort of underground bunker or hangar which actually stores a decommissioning submarine, or they're just building a new one. I'm not sure. It's kind of similar to Naval Strike, so maybe they might even add the Levolution where you can just shoot the cables or blow up the cables to drop the submarine on your enemies. And probably on the outskirts of this map, there might be some sort of old Russian village. So kind of like Golma Railway, where they have these little towns or houses just cluttered together. And this can probably create some good cover destruction and some good infantry gun battles if you guys are into that. Moving on, the trailer then shows us the third new map. It's called Giants of Karelia, I believe. I might be pronouncing that wrong. At first glance, I thought this map was actually Kearsarge Railroad from Battlefield 3's Endgame DLC. It looks very similar with the pine trees and with the train, but upon closer inspection, it is probably going to be much different from that map. There is a water tower, and from the Dragon's Teeth DLC, we know that water towers could possibly be taken down, since in Lupimi Garden, the water tower can be overflowed and there will be a giant mudslide. So maybe this water tower could actually become part of a Levolution, which they haven't shown off yet. And lastly, we come to the map which I'm most excited about. It's called Hangar 21, and it is supposed to be some sort of high-tech, secret Russian military compound which builds ships, mechs, robots, and just other high-tech weaponry. We first get a look at the center of the map probably. It reminded me the most of the watchtower in Operation Locker, so maybe you can also go inside that tower and maybe trigger a Levolution event. But here is probably the most exciting shot. This is of Battlefield 2142's robots / mechs. I highly doubt they are actually available to be used. Maybe, just maybe, DICE wanted to throw something extra at the players, so they might include some sort of battle pickup, which is one of these mechs and you can hop into one. But I really don't think that will ever happen, but cross our fingers. And then in the next shot, we can get a close-up of a blueprint of these mechs, or what they called walkers. It's pretty cool to see the parts, and I believe that is a minigun on the bottom. I'm not exactly sure, but we can see this is some sort of high-tech Russian technology. And then in the next two shots, we can get a outside glimpse at the hangar. The two doors actually do open and close, and I'm pretty sure that could be player triggered. And coming towards the end of the trailer, we can get a much wider view of the whole map itself. It's actually quite large. It isn't just about the hangar and the inside of it. It's also about the valley down below. So maybe if they do this right on Rush, it might be pretty cool to fight from the bottom and go all the way up, or maybe just go right down like Davmon Peak. Now this is probably the most puzzling shot I have out of the trailer. It is of maybe two jet engines. If I had to guess, I would say they are jet engines, but I don't know what this is leading to. Maybe it's a rocket even. So could it be that this is some sort of nuke or some sort of spaceship, that maybe it is a player triggered event where it just blasts off? I don't know. I'm making huge assumptions here, but hopefully you guys can leave some comments down below to help me explain what this thing is. And then we come to this shot, which is, I believe, the construction of some sort of new generation aircraft carrier or warship. I don't exactly know. It looks really big in size, and I believe this ship itself is actually raised from the ground with these supports. And again, maybe just like Naval Strike, you can just drop this whole thing down onto your enemies, and this thing is much bigger, and I believe it will cause a much bigger impact. And lastly, we can get another glimpse of the Hangar 21's doors closing. It is pretty cool, and I'm almost 100% sure that is some sort of player trigger event. Otherwise, it would be pretty weird to see that thing never close or opened. Anyways, that's all the trailer breakdown video for you guys. Sorry if it wasn't as detailed as I usually make them, because this time the DLC is out and I want to get my time in to actually play this DLC and give you guys my overall thoughts and opinions about the weapons, vehicles, and so on. Hopefully you guys understand. Anyways, leave a comment down below telling me what you guys think about this DLC. Are you guys excited for the 2142 type of theme, or would you guys rather see the nuke, which for now we do not have a glimpse of? So maybe in the following days, as they release more maps for the CTE guys to play, we might discover more interesting things. Again, make sure you stay tuned to my channel if you want to get the latest news on this DLC and just other things regarding Battlefield. Thanks for watching. Peace out, guys.